So a lot of people are interested in athletic training.
Yes, okay.
What is the difference between personal training?
Huge difference. Mainly is personal trainer, you don't have to have a degree. Athletic trainer is a degree. And it's a lot of hours working in a training. You are specifically trained to deal with injuries, acute injuries and chronic injuries. Most often you're affiliated with a college or a professional team. There isn't much work outside of those two career paths. I think it's way better now than when I was younger. When I was in high school, there were no athletic trainers on the high school campus. We had, actually Blair Beluso did some of the athletic training at College of Marin. I don't think he's even certified. But things are much better now. And I think, what do you guys have, 3 trainers here? A head trainer and a couple underneath them, him or her. So it's a career path that requires education, a degree, probably a master's degree. Job opportunities are a lot tougher. It's an exciting career, especially if you're interested in sports medicine. When I was in school, it was just starting this whole idea of sports medicine. I was fascinated by it, but wasn't really interested in being an athletic trainer. But it's a great career, just there aren't a whole lot of jobs out there.
Okay. So you said you aren't a personal trainer? Were you?
I am certified. I am a teacher. I'm a full-time instructor at College of Marin. So I don't do one-on-one training, but I do small group because I teach the fitness classes. So I teach fitness and weight training at College of Marin. But I've been teaching the certification course about 15 years. My master's degree is exercise science. I actually started off, I went into a program, it was for cardiac rehab. This is in the 80s. And it was in Pennsylvania. I found the only school that didn't require GRE, and it was a 1-year, 3-semester program, so I was done in a year. And I had interviews in the city to work in a cardiac rehab program, and this one interview was very pivotal because I'm sitting there with the cardiologist at St. Mary's Hospital. The same textbooks that I've used were on his bookshelf, and we're hitting it off. It's great. I'm going, I got this. And then he's looking at my resume, and he's going, I'm sorry, where'd you get your physical therapy degree? And I'm like, oh no, I'm a physical therapist. He goes, I'm sorry, you're a nurse, where'd you get your nursing degree? I'm like, I'm not a nurse. I'm going, oh my God. And I realized there's no way I could work in cardiac rehab in California without a nursing degree or a physical therapy degree. And I walked out of there, I go, all right, I gotta go plan B. And I didn't have plan B. So, and I was married, I think I was pregnant. No, I wasn't. I got pregnant after. So I started teaching at Marin Catholic, where I went to high school, and I ran into a guy who was at College of Marin, and where I also went. He said, "Oh, they're looking for a volleyball instructor," and I said, "Oh, all right, I'd like to add that. Start doing that." So I went in, got the job, started teaching volleyball. 7 years later, I am a full-time instructor. And I did everything I needed to do to get that job. On committees, if they said, we need an emergency response instructor, I went and got certified to be the emergency response instructor. I was creating courses, I coached the women's basketball team, did everything. And I don't know how you feel about teaching jobs in California, but the community college teaching jobs are coveted jobs. They're hard to get, and there's a lot of people trying to get in. And I felt very lucky that I was in the right place at the right time, but I also made sure that it was mine to lose. And that's really important. Whatever career you go into, it's about being a hard worker and showing that you will do whatever, going beyond. The call of duty is just kind of always helping the department out, whatever career you're in. So I don't know what your question was, but I went off on a pretty good tangent there. I was trying to get how I got to where I am today, and now I pretty much run the department. I've also gotten into distance education. I teach a couple classes online. The coolest thing of all about my department is that we are integrated with health. Most schools are not, and I've been able to start teaching contemporary health issues, which I love. So that's in one big breath. Yeah.
You answered that question. So what is a typical day like?
Well, right now it's amazing because I'm on sabbatical. So I don't do anything at all every day. It's been a very lazy sabbatical. I learned very quickly I need structure. But typically for me, I teach a couple fitness classes each morning. And then I have a few committees that I'm on. And I kind of always working on curriculum at the college. As I said, I changed all of our courses from physical education to kinesiology. That was a pretty big endeavor. But for the most part, I would say, and I think teaching is an underrated profession. The lifestyle's amazing. I know we're here to talk about personal training, and it's great, but the teaching lifestyle is a great lifestyle. You get tenure, you get your benefits, you have a regular schedule. The money is great. At Calderman, you have an opportunity to teach overload classes. So there's an opportunity. Should I say how much I make? Do you guys want to know how much I make?
Don't tell me, I feel really bad.
Yeah. I think it is important to know. And I'm not saying it to brag, I'm saying to let you know that you can make decent money in teaching. I made $125,000 last year. And that was, teaching summer school, and then a 5-unit overload with the, this is the community college system, which I'm sure pays better than Dominican. You get paid for doing your other activities, your other, chairing committees and so forth, and that's how you can really, have a pretty decent salary, and especially living in Marin. And College of Marin has to pay better because of where we are. So, if you want summers off, they're off. So I encourage all of you to go into teaching, and you can do both, personal training and this. So that's the, kinesiology major is one of the biggest majors in the state right now. It's impacted at the CSUs. And it's a bridge to many different careers, including occupational therapy, which you have here, physical therapy and exercise science, and yeah.
Okay, so going off of that, what is the thing that you enjoy most about your teaching?
That it's so dynamic and it changes all the time. That's the beauty of teaching health. I think it's contemporary. So I'm on sabbatical right now, and every day I read the paper and go, oh my God, I gotta cut this down here for my class, and I put it in my Moodle site, and it's just keeping it interesting and sharing these ideas and the excitement with students who often don't really think about it too much. And I'm a big proponent of critical thinking because I teach the health class online. It's a lot of writing, and there's no right or wrong answer. It's really about, read some information and then come up with your ideas and your thoughts. What do you think about this topic? And every week is a different topic. I would say that it's so dynamic and always changing.
Would you say that being a personal fitness trainer really requires you to understand how to teach? Because it's almost like...
Totally, absolutely. That's why we have that class, effective teaching strategies. And how do you learn that? You're not going to learn that through a weekend certification course or, definitely not in a online course. So it is very important. I think for the most part, though, at least this is my experience, if you go into it, you already have that kind of skill set, I think. Because I've had students who couldn't stand up in front of class, and I make all my students do a presentation, and they couldn't do it. And I said, how do you think you're going to be able to stand up in front of a couple people, because that's the big thing, small group training, or one person, if you can't, kind of take charge? And that's a big part, taking charge. You cannot be timid.
So a big difference between maybe athletic training and personal fitness training. Athletic training, you also develop skills. You're like treating injuries and things like that, and so
It's
personal
more
fitness training
one-on-one.
is really like you're teaching new skills. You're teaching people. So there's a lot of education to that rather than treatment.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, last question. What is the most challenging part about your job?
I would have to say relying on the state of California budget. Because we always rely on, we've had so many cutbacks. If you looked at what we offered 20 years ago, you'd be shocked. Especially, they always go, when the cuts have to be made, they're not gonna go math and science, as they shouldn't, but they look to PE. Years ago, we were what we called the cash cow, because we were paid, we got funded based on student numbers, class size, and their PE classes had huge numbers. Well, then we went to what's called the basic aid district, where it was based, the money we got is based on our property taxes. So when cuts came, it was PE department. We've been we're probably half the teaching units that we were when I started. I've been there 25 years.
Are there jobs for personal fitness trainers to teach at a community college?
No, because to teach at community college you need to have a master's degree minimum. So you're looking at people who have master's degree in exercise science, kinesiology. So, and there aren't too many that have a program that we've set up. I get a lot of calls from other community colleges going, so what did you guys do? What is this? And you can't get a degree in it. You could get a degree in kinesiology, an AA in kinesiology, and have this part of your core. But it's not going to get you a job. It's that sort of national certification by one of the organizations.
What if you offer a class in Zumba or yoga or something like that? Who teaches those classes?
We have people with master's degrees.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, and almost all of them are personal trainers because it's kind of a natural progression. You know, you want to have, I would call it, you know, your tool belt. You want to have as many things as you can in your tool belt, and having that good background, because actually the personal trainer course I teach, I would say, is my entire master's degree all lumped into one semester. It's that massive, the amount of information. As you know, the kinesiology, the anatomy, physiology that you're expected to learn is pretty detailed.
Oh, are there any questions?
So as you said, the course to get your certification, that just teaches you how to take the test, or does
No,
that
it prepares you for the test. I give an exam at the end. That will help you with the test because there's only so many questions you can make up, right? But it's a class that really prepares you to take the exam.
Yeah, so that doesn't help you as far as becoming a personal trainer, right?
Sure it does. We spend a lot of time in the gym.
Oh.
Yeah. So you do one-on-one, you practice working with another person. It's not just the book.
Yeah.
It's hands-on, so there's a lab portion to it.
Oh, so it's like it not only prepares you to take the test, but also personal training.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. And the way it's set up at College of Marin, we turned it into a hybrid just because it was a pretty demanding number of hours per week. And I thought I could pare this down a little bit and have people do more at their own pace. So it's hybrid, so we meet Monday nights and we talk for about an hour and then we go into the weight room for about an hour and a half. So it's a 2.5 hour on-campus commitment and then many, many hours. You know, I tell my students it takes, and you have to think about this. So how many hours did you spend studying before your test? But you already had a background.
Too many.
I tell my students about you really a successful student, maybe 9 to 10 hours a week before the exam. So it's a 17-week semester, and if they spend that much time, they will definitely pass the
Probably
test.
did like 10 to 12.
Yeah. And again, the whole idea with the class is that it's the structure. Not everybody is, you know, motivated and has the discipline to set that time aside. So when you're taking a class, it's kind of, all right, every Monday I know I'm going into that. And I've got a commitment by the next Monday to have done this, this, and this. I give quizzes that you take online, so you kind of have to stay on task. It's a lot of reading. NASM book is not as huge as the ACE book. I think ACE has too much information in it. But again, if you have questions about the different certification bodies, I can answer that too. If you want to email me about it, yeah.
Practical question, do you offer that class every semester and during the summer?
Not in the summer, way too much, because our summer's only a 6-week session. Usually it's offered every fall, but because I'm on sabbatical, it's offered in the spring. They want to offer it again in the fall, so we'll see. We haven't done our fall schedule yet. But in the past, it's just been one academic semester a year, whether it's fall or spring.
Any other questions?